All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Sunny Harris, 45-year trading veteran, and I'm going to show you my Sunny bands to analyze all the symbols you put in the chat. And this one is a chart of the Dow. I have a Substack called TCRG Sunny, Traders Catalog and Resource Guide Sunny, at Substack.com. And I do a free market analysis for tomorrow every night. So it's what I think the market's going to do today, which would have been tomorrow last night when I wrote it. All right. So this you can see this is a daily chart. On October 30th, I sold all of my stocks, got all out of all my positions because I thought it was going to go down, and it sure has. So we did real well with that one. Today, I thought was going to go down. I was a little disappointed this morning. We were up almost 600 points and then turned on a dime, and now we're down. And we're down 210 points. Let me explain my Sunny bands before we go on so you'll know, because they're going to be on every chart. So I've got a green and a blue channel right here together. So the blue one is 1.2 average shoe ranges. The green one, that's the blue one. The green one is 2.0 average shoe ranges away from my dynamic moving average, which is the purple and gold lines in the center. And then we have 1.2 up for the inside channel and 2.0 up for the outside channel. Now, the reason I invented this dynamic moving average, which is the gold and purple in the center, is because I found that I kept getting caught in sideways periods. And every time we go sideways, I'd get losses. And every time we'd have a trend, I'd have wins. And the losses outstrip the wins. So I decided that sometimes a fast moving average of 5 worked. Sometimes the 8 worked. Sometimes the 13 worked. Sometimes the 20 worked. And I couldn't figure out how to make them reflect those numbers. So I finally invented mathematics. I'm a mathematician. So I came up with equations to vary the lengths of the moving average on its own. So it's a dynamic moving average because it calculates its own lengths with every tick of the market. And I have never changed the mathematics. I've never updated them other to no sound. Do you have sound, David?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah, your
said,
sound's coming through fine.
okay, somebody said no sound. All right, so I've never updated the mathematics. I've never changed the equations. They've been this way for 39 years. I've been trading for 45, but it took me a couple years to invent and create this indicator. So I think we're going to go up next to the DMA, dynamic moving average. So we have this much room to move up to about 40, 47,000. I think that we'll do that. And let's see. Sound is good. Amy, sound working perfectly. Anyone else with sound problems? What? I just saw a symbol.
Yeah, just ignore that person.
All right, KGC. Mish, that was a great presentation. Thank you. All right, so KGC is stronger than the Dow, although it's just started going down and it's hit the DMA. When you get to the DMA, I say it's going to chop for a while, especially if the DMA is flat like it is here. So I'm expecting some sideways movement for a little bit. The DMA often acts as resistance and stops any further movement. So where is it going to go from there? It's going to go at least down to the lower inner band, or it could easily go to the upper inner band again. So it's going to chop between these two values, lower inner and upper inner, which is 26 to 23. This is a daily chart. Let's do like Mish did. We're going to go time frame weekly. So there's more room on the downside to get down to the DMA on this weekly chart. So that I think is where we're most likely to go next. Seeing this one. And the monthly. That's a nice ride up there. Very nice. What is this stock? Kinross Gold. Gold. Well, that's why. And this looks very positive. I'm very positive as well on gold. I hold a whole lot of it. Not in contracts, I have lots of coins. So I'm looking for gold to go up to 5,000 at this point. When I said 4,000, when it was below there, and I said it's going to 4,000, I got a lot of laughter. But it did it. Do we have any other symbols? Let's see if there's anything else in there. No. But I can do some of the ones that Mish did. One WF. This, I think, this is monthly. And I think it's going to turn and go on up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if that's a 5 wave, we could go on down to the DMA and then in an ABC fashion. And then from there, pop up. How about Walmart, where you can buy a $25 10-person Thanksgiving dinner. And it's still holding above all the moving averages, including the dynamic moving average. And since this is the season to be buying gifts, it's probably going to continue on up to the upper outer band at 115. Let's see what else we have. Gold and silver. And silver's doing astronomically well. I went to my gold dealer yesterday and bought some more. And I saw the most beautiful silver dollars. They're so pretty, just shiny silver things. Beautiful art on the front of them. And BMRN. Yeah. That one's going slowly down. You notice how the DMA is sloping down, down, sharper down, and pass through the 200 moving average. And I think it's still got more down to go. The attractor is right there. Let me draw that in. So a horizontal line at these tops over here goes through this, struggles right there. And I think that's where we're going. It's headed for it. And I'll be putting the recording on my website, which is moneymentor.com. And then you click or you put in /appearances. And it shows everything I've talked for the last several years. And this presentation will be at the top of the list starting tomorrow. How about Costco? I trade things that I know. If I have a feeling for how the business is doing based on my patronage thereof, uh, I have better feeling for what the stock market's going to do. So if I go to Costco and the floors are dirty and the shelves are askew, then I would not buy Costco. But if it's doing well, they make most of their income on memberships, it turns out. They have such low prices, they don't make a whole lot of money on the items, but they do make their money on the memberships. And they've just instituted a new rule that you can't go in unless you have a membership. So I used to get my prescriptions there because they too are low in cost. And they won't let me in anymore. And I don't want a membership because I don't want to buy big boxes of things. So this one hit the DMA right here, solid. Probably will bounce on that and go back up to the upper inner band. Let's see. Any more symbols? Let's look at the messages. Google, that's a good one. And it's just flying out of there. We'll look at let's say this is a monthly. Here's a weekly. And that looks really strong still too. And today's up nicely, even though the market's down. And daily. And that's a red bar going up, which is, those are unusual. But I think it's going to stop. We've got an attractor right here on the top of this, which is where the current price is. And I think that'll stop it. I think Google is still a great stock. Palantir. And I love this stock as well, but it's currently down. Let's draw in an attractor. We get the horizontal line, and it's right there. I don't think it's going to go that low. Another horizontal line. And this one, if you scooch it up just a little bit, you'll see, come on. Oh, come on. For some reason, I'm not able to grab it. Huh. We'll just take it out then. So right here is the next attractor area. So it hits it, hits it, hits it, and it comes over here and hits it here. So I think this is the next level. And it should stop all movement. And it's also, you see, right at the 200 moving average. This moving average is a little special. You'll see that it has 200 in the same color as the 200 average, and 55, which is a Fibonacci number, same color as the average, and 21, which is the blue one, you see comes along here. So the numbers are in the same color, so it's easy to spot, and it displays the length of the moving average. So I use 21 and 55 because they're Fibonacci numbers, and 200 is not, but everybody's watching that 200. So I put that up there. Let's see, ATGE. That's an interesting one. We have falling out of bed right here. It just goes down, down, down. And now it's been sideways for the last 10 or so trading days. And what is this one? Something education group. American, maybe? Interesting. This looks to me like it could go up to the DMA, giving you a little hope because it is going to turn when it gets up to there and then go back down again. That's my guess. Deej Meta. The attractor is right where we are right now, and it has to go up through that for that to not drop out of bed and go down into this level. So Meta, when you look at the DMA, you see here that purple is on top. That means the tendency is to go down. And when, like back here, gold is on top, the tendency is to go up. So gold is up, purple is down. And I think this will come up and touch this DMA and then decide whether it's going to go down further. You know, you should all have Sunny Bands. Everybody should have a copy of Sunny Bands. I use it for everything I look at. Futures, stocks. I make option trades are made with, I don't trade options personally, but I have several clients that do. And they use Sunny Bands for their options. And mutual funds, crypto, everything. And they all work the same with the same rules, regardless of the symbol and regardless of the time frame. Okay, the DMA is dynamic moving average. Yeah, you got it. Did I do DGII? Let's see. I'm going up the list and that's not helping. Yeah, so we've got flat DMA, rising DMA, flat DMA, falling DMA, rising DMA. So I think this is going to come down and touch the DMA, which is also where the 21 moving average is. And then it will decide what it wants to do from there. It's likely it will bounce on the DMA and it may just bounce around for a little while on the DMA. It does that a lot too. Let's look at Dell. Oh my, it's below the 200 moving average now. On this is the daily chart. So it's below there. Let's see what it looks like on a monthly chart. Okay, so we've got up, 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 sideways, up, and it hits it. So 1, 2, 3. Starts a 4. So we could do a little bit more movement on the downside and then go up again. I think Michael Dell is a really good manager and a really good investor. So I think that this will climb back up. Oh, and Dell is having a lot of Black Friday sales right now. You can get an Alienware, which is what I trade with, Alienware laptop, which is a gaming computer. So if it's fast enough for gaming, it's surely fast enough for trading. So they're selling 16-inch Alienwares for $899.99. I paid $6,000 for the one I have. So yes, I build them a little more robust. I try to get them as fast as possible, but you can get into the kind that I have now for about $2,000. ELTR, Google, TPC. And that's got a flat period for quite a long time across here. We had this great big red bar, great big down bar, and from which it has not recovered, and it doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon. So it did start some movement out of the flat area. That's the monthly chart. I type weekly. No, that doesn't work. WEEKLY. You have to type the whole thing. All right, so that little movement that's coming out of that flat zone looks like it's going to go down to the 21 moving average before it bounces again. We've got a little attractor right through here, and it could be that it's just going to bounce off of that. Yeah. Oh, here we got more symbols, I think. Meta, Intel. Oh, that's not Intel. That's something else. Intel's INTC. I don't know what this one is. International ETF. Well, we've come down to the DMA, which has gold on top. We've got a red bar that goes down to it, and it will likely bounce off of that area and come back up into this area, which is looking at moving from 27 up to around 28. So that's not a big move. This is a low price stock. So 27 to 28, you can pretty much bank on that. NBIS. Nebius Group. Another big down day. Another big down week. So chances are on this one, we will come down to this attractor, which is at 79, I think. And then we can look to going back up into this area again, which is at 134. So I think we're going to have a big move on this one, but I don't know if it's going to be right now. INTC. There you go. That's what I thought you meant. Intel is INTC. And it's, you notice how well these things come down and touch that DMA over and over and over again. They come up here, it's sideways around the DMA, sideways, sideways. Then it goes up a little while, then it bounces back down to the DMA, back up some more, back down to the DMA. That just happens over and over and over again. Anybody wants to have my Sunny Bands for a week for free, just text me Sunny Bands. And my I'll give you my phone number here real quick while we're talking about it. There you go. That's my cell phone. So just text me. And this thing went up with the market this morning. It's been going down with the market, and now it went up with the market this morning when the Dow went up or up almost 600 points. And then it came back down, and then now it's down 361. So it's been quite a ride today. WF. I don't know what that one is either, but charts are charts are charts. They all go up, they all go down, and they all go sideways, which this one is doing nicely sideways. And you can see that we're just meandering, just meandering. So I look for it to do more of the same. It's probably going to go a little above the DMA, back down again, a little above the DMA, back down again, until it proves itself. It's not going to change direction. It'll keep going this sideways. So that would be a good little option play if you wanted to play options with it, up and down, up and down, up and down. And this is a daily chart. Oh, that's Wells Fargo. Thank you. Speaking of Wells Fargo, let's see, JPM, which is Chase, is doing a little better. The up and down moves are larger, so there's enough room to catch something here. Catch it up to there, catch it down to here, back up to here. JP Morgan, up and down and up and down. Let's see, does anybody else have anything else? Okay. Let me look at my holdings chart and see what else I have in there that's interesting. Come on. All right. There we go, NTGR. Right through here is where the attractor is. And you can see that we dropped below it, which is not good. That usually means we're going to the next level down. But this one could, there's a little bitty gap in there. This one could come back to fill that gap and come up above the lower inner band and then decide its direction up or down. AMD. Advanced Micro Devices. Oh, that's it. So is it going to fill this gap, people? Probably. So we're right down near the top of that gap. So the attractor's right here. And 202, and it's likely to drop to 189. I think that's what that says. How about AVGO? And there's the attractor because you've got this flat, 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 flat all the way across. And then it did up in response to today's Dow and then back down in response to today's Dow. And it'll probably do whatever the Dow does again tomorrow, which is probably down. So the Dow probably needs to go to the lower outer band. Let's look at it one more time and then we'll ask INDU. Yeah, we're looking at coming to the lower outer band, which is at 46,444. I think that's where the Dow's going next. All right, my time's almost up. I'm going to tell you again how we read the sunny bands. We've got the green line is the lower outer band. The blue line is the lower inner band. The center line is the moving, it's a double moving average, and it's called dynamic moving average. It's dynamic because it calculates its own length internal to the mathematics. Then we have blue, which is the upper inner band, and green, which is the upper outer band. And then you'll notice that price stays within them. It's not like Bollinger Bands. It's not statistically calculated off a simple moving average. It's calculus. So I used calculus to calculate this dynamic moving average. And because it's dynamic, so are the ATR ranges. So they're calculated off the DMA. So everything else is dynamic as well. Okie doke. Looks like Anka and then David and then Anka